Goodness. Do you ever like sometimes I'm like, dang it. Remind me not to read messages before a podcast because that will take your energy somewhere else.
What do you mean?
Like I literally just read this like really toxic negative
Oh,
message right now. And I'm just like, really? Right now when I'm about to start. But yeah, that's like I really feel like, oh, is that brisk iced tea? Oh yeah, thank you. Uh, I really feel like when you tell people like a little too much about yourself or they know like you're going on a trip or you're about to do something really important and they're very vindictive um and they're like mad at you for one reason or another and or they're passive aggressive, they want to shift your energy.
they want to make sure they're on your mind and not having fun. You're not in the present moment. Yeah, they are on your mind and
Is that a way of like control?
oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Is
That's
that narcissistic?
definitely tendencies for sure.
But yeah, like no, it's crazy how you give someone the privilege of knowing more about your life or like kind of an in your life and then they kind of just take advantage of that and it's like, oh man, like maybe I shouldn't have opened up that much.
Yeah. Well, I think you said it perfectly. You said the privilege
Yeah.
of being part of your life. And it's up to you, right? It's up to you who
Mhm.
you keep in your life and not. And I wouldn't say maybe you shouldn't have opened up. I say open up as much as you feel you need to
Mhm.
and let those behaviors be a filter
Yeah,
of who's meant to be in your life.
that's true.
Don't shrink what you want to expose, don't shrink what you want to share,
Yeah.
and let people's reactions and people's behaviors be that filter.
And it's so crazy because nowadays in the age of social media, it's like, okay, you are filtering out different types of people. And it's like, okay, I want to open up to the right people, but
Yeah.
because I want to filter out the people that need to be in my life or not. But you also got to filter out the right people
Yeah.
in order to do that. And it's kind of like this catch 22. Like, oh man, like, how do I, you know, without being too vulnerable and too open and too accessible, how do I let someone in my life genuinely?
Yeah.
It's really hard. It's really hard. Like people, you don't know people nowadays.
Yeah.
It's really scary.
It definitely is. And it is hard to, especially being so exposed, right? Socially, and you don't know who wants to be close to you out of proximity. You have a lot of followers, you have a lot of eyes on you. Um, who wants to be close to you for proximity, who wants to be close to you because they actually want to get to know you. I mean, even on a smaller scale, I feel that's yeah, it's using discernment, and I think it's really just trying to know what you want. If somebody doesn't fulfill that, like have categories. This one could be an acquaintance, this one could be a close friend,
Yeah.
this one maybe not so much.
And make it clear.
Do you
Keep
believe in
those
a higher
boundaries.
power, like God,
Yeah.
universe? Okay. Something I have done is this happened last year. I set an intention of like whoever's not for my highest good, let them fall out of my life peacefully, gracefully.
Mm,
Um, because I'm tired of, I don't know about you, I'm tired of like dramatic stuff. I'm tired of like drama,
yeah.
or like the pain. And I think we are allowed to set those intentions where it's like, let me learn gentle lessons from now on. Whoever is not meant in my life, let them fall away gently. And
Yeah.
people do fall away. People move away. People just like get in petty arguments with you that don't really phase you, but then they decide to leave and just trust
Yeah.
that. No matter what that is, just trust that and don't try to mend, you know. I would say don't try to mend right away. Just like allow. Like
It
I've
to happen.
asked, you ask and you shall receive, just trust that it's for your highest good.
Because that's what the
Yeah.
universe or God pretty much wants to happen. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, let just go with the flow then.
But you have to
Don't
accept
try to
it too.
control it.
Yeah. Don't try
Yeah,
to control it. Yeah. Yeah.
you're right.
Just you set the intention and then
Uh-huh.
it's like, okay.
You know what's scary about that for some people who are somewhat controlling or in like survival mode is that they feel like if they let go for a second, that everything's gonna like turn into chaos
Mm.
when they're already in chaos. Like I know I'm in like fight or flight mode a lot, right? Which is why I used to get panic attacks a lot.
Mhm.
I mean that's lessened, but I still see myself in survival mode, and I feel like if I just go with the flow on something, everything's gonna fall apart in my life. And that's like a constant struggle for me, which is why I always feel like I need to go back to nature and to
Yeah.
camp or to like stay away from people just to be more aligned. But then my problem is when I get back,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're back in your element.
Yeah, I'm back into
Has there been a
chaos.
time in your life where you did let go of control and stuff fell apart?
When I was a kid.
Tell me about that.
Okay, like we were talking about earlier, we're just like, two kids, well, plus your sister, right? We'd
Mhm.
hang out after school, your apartment, my apartment. Just the funny shit that we did, like when we were on my computer
Yeah.
and I don't know how, okay, everyone, I don't know how this happened, but a nude photo of Angelina Jolie popped up on the screen.
We have
And
no idea how nude
and we
photos
don't even know how that got there, I swear. Or at least we don't remember. But Sonya and I were like, how do you take this off? My dad was coming. And then she pressed the button.
I put set to wallpaper. I don't know what that was about. And I think the internet was new, so that's why we're like Angelina Jolie. And then naked pictures came up, which we didn't know there was easy access to news like that.
That's the first photo that popped up of Angelina Jolie. I'm sorry, not to disrespect, but that's when she was starting her like early career,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, she set it to wallpaper, so now it was a bunch of naked photos. And we're like, no. I don't even remember how we got it. I think I just unplugged it.
We had no idea. We were like, how do we get rid of this? Like,
You see something like that when we used to just I was just going with the flow that I think the most like hardest obstacle, if it even was a bless you. I'm gonna start that over. I think like the hardest part of being a kid, at least for me, was, and it wasn't even that hard, was homework.
Hmm.
And that's when the last time I remember being carefree, because even when I got into high school and I was jumping around different high schools, I feel like I was already in fight or flight mode
Yeah.
because it wasn't the same anymore, like we couldn't just like go and hang out after school and not care about like money. Or at that point in high school I was like, actually this sounds bad, but this is real shit. Like I used to try to figure out who I can date that was in college or whoever was in high school that had a car where I could like I didn't have to take the bus. I didn't have to walk. I didn't have to figure out like bus fare or anything.
Yeah.
I had to find a boyfriend that had money to take care of me because, like when I was younger, like I didn't have the means for a lot of things. So I feel like even then in high school, I was already in fight or flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Survival. I mean, your survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
Some people choose to steal, some people choose to do other things. And when you come from humble beginnings, you got to do what you got to do to survive, right? You got to do what you got to do to get the life you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was your way of getting the life you want. You don't want to take the bus, you don't want to pay the fare, and that's okay.
I know it's crazy
we got-
for some people.
What's one thing I really do love about our friendship is knowing that we've come from humble beginnings. Like we saw where we lived,
Girl.
we went to the same schools, we saw the streets, we knew what was going on in the streets at night.
Yes. National City. People, aka Nasty City, that's what people call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's being gentrified now, but back
really
in the day,
is.
it wasn't the safest of places to be.
It was not.
And I remember all of us lived in a small 1-bedroom apartment,
Yeah.
or 2-bedroom apartment, but there was like 5 of us. I
Yeah,
remember there
that's
being
a lot.
drive-bys. I remember
I know.
like cruising down Highland on Sunday nights and there's gang activity.
Girl, even at school there's gang activity.
Yes. And what I love seeing and I love that we've always supported each other throughout like our transitions in life. And I love when like seeing you succeed, seeing you on the cover of Playboy. Like I was like, this is my girl, this is my friend. And just like seeing just like all these amazing things that are happening and it's like, hell yeah, like, and just knowing that it wasn't given to you. It wasn't just handed to you, you know, like you worked for it from the ground up, and you like utilize like all your assets, all your smarts and looks, and I'm like, I applaud you for that.
Thank you so much. No, I appreciate it.
Like I know she's a pretty face on social media, but you guys don't know she's a really, really smart woman. Like,
Oh, as are
yeah.
you, beautiful, gorgeous, smart. You're very ambitious. That's what I really love. That's why, like, I invited you here. I'm like, I need to have someone that's, you know, that has that same hustle and that has that same energy and is very insightful. And I love how you're helping people through your platform.
Thank you.
And I really think that's very important. I mean, that's cool. Like, the whole Playboy thing, that's awesome, but I don't even know how I can help. Well, I don't know how I can help women Playboy, right? With like my content, but I really I'm just like with you because you're helping so many people, including myself, just talking to me because I feel like earlier when before we started talking, like I felt like I was going crazy or something, but then I feel like just talking to you, you kind of like regulated me in a way
Yeah.
and you kind of like made me like open up my eyes a little like no, you're not crazy. That is like that person is kind of like controlling in a way,
Yeah.
whatever. Like that's a certain like trait or something that a narcissist does do. Not saying they are a narcissist, but like that kind of confirmed something for me. And I'm just like, oh, okay, now I can be comfortable again. I can breathe a little,
Yeah.
So like honestly, you just being you and helping people out, I feel like that's such a good thing nowadays because in social media, everyone's just like content creating, social media, and other apps, whatever jobs you're doing, right? It's I don't want to say everyone's selfish, but not everyone's helping each other out. Like my content creating, sure, I can like help people with like a coupon to like get something like for like 25% off or something, but that's not help in a way that it's gonna help change their lives for the better.
Hmm.
And I love that you're all about that. That's
Yeah.
what you do, and that's what your social media is all about.
Yeah.
And I really feel like more people should be like that,
Yeah.
regardless. It doesn't have to be their job or whatever, but you spreading light and awareness to everyone, I feel like that's a good start in like changing and shifting selfishness in social media and how people feel and are and with the mental health crisis right now that
Yeah.
everyone's struggling with and going through. I don't care who you are struggling with some kind of mental issue, like whatever level, everyone is going through something, right? And I feel like someone like you is really comes in handy, especially nowadays with the age of social media and flats
Yeah.
and clout and all these things.
Yeah. One thing, and thank you for that. Thank you for saying that. It means a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going through so much change in such a short period of time. We went through a phase before lockdown. It was very selfie. You're right. Selfie. It's all about the
Yeah.
self. Like, let me, it's
Self.
me. Like, and then lockdown happened and we became even more isolated, which I did like lockdown because I'm very much an introvert and I did enjoy lockdown. But
Same.
yes, and but I got lonely, right? Lockdown lasted a lot longer than anybody expected. And it became kind of lonely. And I feel like right now, especially with so much uncertainty with the economy, we are talking about that a little bit earlier. But I feel like we're in a place right now where people need to start becoming a community again, where we need to start learning how to borrowing sugar from your neighbors
Yeah.
again, and just have that sense of safety, community, and looking out for one another.
Yeah.
And it, I think we're going back there, and I really hope to use the social media platform to embody that, not only empower the individual, but also embody like let's be there for each other. And I also really feel strongly about dismantling the hustle culture, dismantling
Yeah.
the idea that working yourself to exhaustion is a badge of honor.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that in our society. We feel that in order to be worthy of something, I need to jeopardize my relationships. I need to jeopardize my body. I need to
Mhm.
jeopardize my mental health,
Yeah.
my
Oh,
sleep.
it's terrible.
You know, it's and people praise that. People, I think that's changing as well. But we need to go deeper. I see like society as a macro level and then individual as a micro level. But within the society is a bunch of individuals that create the society. How
Mhm.
can we go into the individual and see, why do we want to hustle so much? What is it? Is it because through our achievements was the only way we receive recognition by our parents as kids? So that stayed with us throughout adulthood? Is it because um maybe you get more recognition by the opposite sex, on the social
Yeah.
media, right? You're like, hey, like, I mean,
And then lines blur
yeah,
from there on, and then you're like, you can't separate yourself, your persona on social media from yourself in real life. So everything's blurred, and then you're like, I don't know what's reality and what's just on social media. I feel like you bring up a good point, like there's never that like satisfaction. There's always like, I gotta keep getting this until I get this, and then well, I achieved this, now I gotta get that. It's just total like
yeah,
hustle culture. Like I gotta get more and more and more. And I'm totally guilty of that. That's why I feel like I'm on this like survival mode. Like I just got, if I stop, then everything's gonna collapse. Which is actually the opposite. If you keep going, you're just gonna like either ruin your mental health, your physical health. Like most recently, stress got me really sick.
yeah,
So I'm just like, okay, I don't want to burn myself out. And, I think what you do, which is freaking amazing, is that you kind of like snap people back into reality. You're like, okay, well, you got to align yourself again. You gotta understand that you're doing this. Have you recently had to talk to someone and just like kind of convince to them like dude, you are in fight or flight, or you're not loving yourself lately, like a recent client that you had to like convince them because they
yeah.
weren't seeing it.
Often, so I have a background in mental health, like, so like more therapy. I have a master's in rehabilitation counseling, and I did do a lot of therapy type work when I worked at foster youth. So like a lot of it was, how can you get the person to see these things for themselves, which I think is very helpful in some cases. But I'm also, the thing I love about coaching is I like to point things out that when I see them, and I let my clients know too. Are you okay with me like being straightforward? Because I will call out what I see in you. And it's up to them, because some people, we don't want to look in the mirror. Sometimes it's hard to look in the mirror.
Yeah.
But I also strongly believe if you pay for a coach,
Oh,
you're gonna
spirit.
pay for attention, right? You're gonna,
Yeah.
because you want the change.
Yeah.
But so yes, I do point it out pretty often. And I try to do it in a gentle way, because sometimes you don't realize, sometimes your entire image of yourself shatters once you see like the patterns behind it.
It's that ego.
It's the ego.
It's the ego.
And you have to be willing to face the truth. And sometimes it doesn't come right away. I could spit the truth. But you said earlier, have you ever had to convince someone? I don't think there's any convincing. They're just revealing.
Yeah,
And
revealing better.
it's up to you if you want to continue to look in the mirror or not. You know, yeah, it's up to the person if you want to continue to look in the mirror. If you how often do you want to look in the mirror? How deep do you want to look in the mirror? Do you want to see your pores? Do you want to see,
Yeah,
all
all
your
the
flaws?
nitty gritty. Yeah.
Or, do you want to just see you in front of a ring light and filters?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a fine line between that acceptance. But I think once you're had enough, you will make those changes. But yeah, it's and sometimes you just need someone to call it out. You just need someone to
Tell you what it is.
oh,
Tough love.
bring it to awareness. And yeah, tough love. And you're like, okay, I see the connections from my childhood to now. I see the connection from this life experience that I had, whether a romantic relationship or not, to now. And as grown-ups, it's up to us to undo it. And it's not our fault why we're like this, why we're in fight or flight. It's usually not our fault why that happened. But as adults, it's our responsibility to heal.
Yeah. It's a must.
Yeah. Yeah.
In order to live a healthy life.
Yeah. And I could imagine with you too, with social media, um, there's probably always this underlining fear of like needing to stay relevant.
Yeah.
Because social
It
media
is.
changes so fast. I can't believe how fast it changes.
It's so fast.
It's in like different platforms and different
Like what TikTok started booming like 2020, like during COVID, because everyone got on TikTok.
Yeah. Yep.
Everyone's just dancing their
Yeah.
asses off on TikTok.
Yeah.
And then what was it? Gosh, what's Lemonade? There's all these new ones.
so much.
I mean they still have what's Snap?
Oh, Snapchat?
Snapchat?
I have that. I don't even go on there anymore.
I had that. I didn't even know I had that. And then people are like, "Oh, I added you on Snapchat." I'm like, "What the hell?" I have a Snapchat.
That's
Okay.
right.
Facebook's still relevant.
Yeah.
Instagram, but I see definitely TikTok took like that skyrocketed within the past 5 years.
Yeah.
That just like took off. But I'm yeah so guilty of that. Like, and what's hard for me though is that besides the relevance, trying to stay relevant, I'm trying to stay relevant in different genres because there's the Playboy and then there's the true crime and then there's the fashion beauty stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's just like me, like my branding for any content creation that you may need. Like, and this is all work. And what's hard is that it's all work. So I'm like, if I don't stay relevant in either of these, I feel like I'm losing money and everything's gonna fall apart. And it's such a struggle that I have to deal with myself,
Yeah.
and I need to like find a way to like this happy medium, this balance where like, hey, you could take a break from this for a while and everything's gonna be okay, which I do often take breaks, like take a break from true crime and Playboy. But as far as staying relevant, you you have to, because once you take a leave of absence for like a week, even a couple days, the algorithm hates you.
It does. It really does. And I'm
Hates
learning
it.
that getting back into social media,
Mhm.
and it makes me admire you even more. I'm like, you have to post on your stories every day.
You have
My
to.
views, like I have just a little over 9,000 followers. Only 30 something people are watching my stories sometimes.
The algorithm.
But the more I post,
It
then
boosts.
suddenly it's like, okay, if I post like every day for a week, it's now 50 people are seeing my stories. That's an abusive relationship as well, right?
It is.
It's like if TikTok and Instagram,
Oh
they're
my
like,
gosh.
I need to always be on your mind, and I
I
will do
know.
stuff, and or it will jeopardize your
Social
business.
media.
It's an abusive
I want to
relationship.
break up with you.
Yes, it's an abusive relationship.
You're giving me money. You're my sugar daddy.
Golden handcuffs. Golden handcuffs, dude. And it's
Oh.
and there's that balance. And and you just brought up a good I was thinking too, a lot of the people I work with, they have small businesses, and I do help with systematizing their business so they're not the ones always not the ones personally to always put out the fires.
Yeah.
Right? They could delegate, they can do this and that. But when you are your brand, you are the brand.
Yeah.
You are your brand. I have to think a little bit more about that. Like, how can I mean? I'm sure you can still delegate. Have a social media manager, this and that. But I would have to think more about that because when you are the brand, it changes dynamics quite a bit.
It
And
really does.
but also you did talk a lot about control, and I don't mean to like analyze you.
No,
Let
I
me know
need
if
you
I'm going
to, please.
Let me know
I
if I'm
need
going
you
too far.
analyze all the way.
So you do talk about control, and I can see controlling the social media, you doing all the social media yourself, all the editing yourself, um, doing all the stuff where you can probably. So you said you talked about, and my mind's working, so let me know if I'm.
No, this is good.
If
This
you're
is good.
so you're talking about like if you slow down a little bit, you're gonna lose the money. But what if you spend a little money to hire a social media manager and you could expand a little bit more? You could do stuff that you actually enjoy doing. So if it is editing, then cool, stick to that. Um, if it is just the content itself, it's the creative, like creating your stories for TikTok or true crime, then do that. But delegate delegate what you can, spend that money so you can make more. But is that something you could delegate? Is that something your emails? Is that something you could hire an assistant for? Maybe pay them um I don't know, $20 an hour, which is pretty good.
So
and
I
you could make more because you have more free time to be more creative.
I got one good thing going with Yolanda right now. I have her as a social media cleanup girl.
Yeah.
And she does respond to messages for me. Not all of them, but she cleans up the comments and she posts for me sometimes, right? And the thing about that though is that like she doesn't know exactly what I want, so she can't really like help me like in all avenues, especially with like all the different social medias I have. She could only do so much, but one good thing about that is like she's like just pay me in sushi.
Oh yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, we came up with some deal.
Yeah.
But as far as like someone, professional that you know, I am open to like that someday, once I know that, because we talked about the economy, right? And how like restaurants are taking a hit,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
restaurants right now. And with holidays coming up, oh, forget about it, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I see the same thing going on in social media. Like people are not um paying influencers as much. Like brands just can't, especially if a lot of these clothings are like they've been hit with a tariff.
Yeah.
So now the clothing's more expensive, people aren't buying it as much, and brands are hiring not as much people, and they are taking care of their promotions and advertisement marketing using AI.
Yeah.
And that's just really where it's like like we talked about earlier, everything's changing so fast. There's something new all the time, right? And so now influencers, content creators, I literally just told you don't hop up. Hop up. Content creators, they're not getting paid as much, or they're not even getting jobs anymore
Yeah.
because brands are turning to AI. And I don't blame them, because I mean, I do the same thing, right? If I found the right like
Yep.
person on an AI app or whatever, I'll just use that.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. And speaking of AI, okay, this is freaking nuts, you guys. I don't even know what's real anymore, what videos I'm watching. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
And I've
know.
heard like sometimes my mom will send us stuff like be careful this and that. I'm like, I think it's AI. It's not a real news article.
Like
You
mom,
know?
the bear's not really
Yeah,
dancing.
yeah.
and like picking up the babies and sending them to sleep. Okay,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Or like some stuff, have you noticed like some stuff that's, why are you even gonna use AI for that? I think there was a viral video on TikTok where like a cat would, or a lady was sleeping and her two cats were just like running on top of her over and over, and
I saw that.
and it ended up being like AI video. And I was like, why?
I just wasted my
Why
time.
make an AI? But then it went viral, and then so like if they're viral enough on TikTok, they'll start getting paid, right?
Yeah,
Like
accounts can get money.
for easy. I mean, just an easy AI video they created. So it's,
Oh gosh,
yeah.
it's scary.
And I think now more than ever, because I think we're gonna get fatigued of AI because we're social creatures. We do want the human connection.
I'm already sick of it.
Right? We're gonna want the real stories, the real connections. I don't think you should stop doing stuff like this. 'Cause at the end of the day, we're gonna just, yeah, get sick and tired of robots. We're gonna get sick and tired of seeing fake stuff. It's either we get off of social media altogether and figure out something else, or it's gonna have to morph or go backwards, right? Like go backwards. Like I'm already
Yeah.
thinking, for example, like I'm already thinking of freaking buying CDs and DVDs all over again. I'm
yes.
sick and tired of like paying all these subscriptions.
I
And then
know.
you buy you like I bought Nightmare Before Christmas on, I think it was like one of the streaming services, and like it's not even available anymore because they don't have it anymore. So it's like, so what was the point of buying it? If I had the CD or the DVD, I have it forever as long as it's
Yeah. No, these subscriptions, like sometimes I'm going through like my what I'm paying for, or whatever. I'm just like going through the bill, and then I'm just like, when did I subscribe to this? Or I didn't realize I'm subscribed to this. Like canceling subscriptions is like a bitch too.
Yes. And
It's
it's like
crazy.
$5 here, $10 here.
It
And
adds
it's
up.
like, yeah, it does add up. I have this app. It's called Rocket Money. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Okay, I need to download that.
I love it so much.
I hear about that.
It'll tell me like, okay, you have these bills coming up, and one of them was like an AI. It was 11 Labs. I think it helps you with like videos. I was just messing with it for a while, and it's like $5 a month. But I've been paying for it for like, I don't know, maybe a year at this point. Like I only used it while I was just trying to see what it has to offer. And it was like, hey, you've been using, just it'll like help you evaluate your subscription, and I just love it. Then you can have the visual of how much money you're making, what's your net worth, and I just like having that visual.
I need that.
Yeah, because we're fatigued. We're overwhelmed by ads, right? They're everywhere. So we're fatigued. And I think it's going to be the same with AI. We're going to like, no.
Gosh, yeah, I'm already there. And because it's so messing with my head. I'm like, now I'm looking at a video, I'm watching, I'm like, is this real? And this is not how I want to watch things anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
They should have like something that says like this is AI
Yeah.
in the beginning. Like,
I mean, doesn't
social
it,
media needs to do that.
when you post on TikTok, doesn't it say like we have to, or it's like, was any of this AI created? People lie,
People are gonna
like,
lie to get some views, for some money.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't. No, I get it. I'm a content creator, but there's got to be some like, I don't know, like some things like you just don't do as a
Yeah.
content creator. And you like ethics. There's got to be some
Yeah.
ethics to this.
Yeah.
There's not. And then people are just going willy-nilly. They're trying to just anything they can do to get some money, to get some views. They're gonna do
Yeah.
it.
You know, I also think that we're in a phase in society where people want truth because they're so sick and tired of all these lies. Like you look
Yeah.
at these celebrities that are coming down, like because people are speaking their truth. People want um the files to come out. People want to know
Yeah.
what's actually happening. People are
Want those
speaking up
files.
against. We all want those files. They're gonna come out.
Those files.
I want everybody, and honestly, I want everybody who was hurt as a child, as an adult, to expose. I want people to be exposed,
Mhm.
and I think that's where we're going because it's like
Accountability, yeah.
accountability. And that one kind of, you know, I took it there.
No, that's good. No, let's go there. Let's go
I think
there.
that's where it is. I think we just want to see. We want truth. I think people are starting to smell BS a lot
Yes.
quicker.
And we're all coming together
Yes,
to realize
like
this.
we want truth. We want the files to come out. We want everybody's skeletons to be exposed, and it,
Mhm.
you know, and it just forces people to, you know, you need to be a good person when the cameras aren't rolling as well. Like
Exactly.
people aren't falling for this BS. Like the celebrities. I mean, I used to love Lizzo. I mean, I still think she's very talented, but there's stuff that came up about her and her dancers not too long ago, and they started to speak
Heard something
out.
about that.
You know, like your celebrities, just people are speaking out now. People are like, I'm not putting up with this bullshit anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I deserve my voice deserves to be heard, and it's also a safer place to like have that because people are getting support when they do speak their truth. I mean, there is some backlash, you know, especially with women, you know, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
There's that censorship.
yes,
Yeah. We're not like being able, people are kind of well, we got, you know, podcast bros, and I get it. Like I'm not gonna lie, I watch them too.
yeah,
But we have this kind of division now. Everyone's divided, especially with politics. Like when some person, just because they're like a different political, they have a different political stance from you, you will not listen to them, even if
Mhm.
they're a victim. And that's what makes this whole thing hard, because
Yeah.
that makes everyone, the people like that, ignorant.
You're right. And it's like kind of taking away the human from
It does.
their views.
It does.
But you know what's interesting? Because sometimes I'll get like far like opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to political views.
Yeah.
And I think we're being told completely different things.
We
Like
are.
one person on one end, they're being told something different than what the person on the other end is being told.
Mhm.
And it's like I hate to feel like it's intentional putting people
It
against
is.
each other because at the end of the day, we're not that different.
Yeah.
We're not that different. And I think we're intentionally being told completely like extreme stuff and extreme stuff on this end too. And I think we need to really start using discernment. And
Mhm.
even if you don't believe in a specific viewpoint, see what they're seeing, you know, see
Yeah.
what they're seeing, because then you understand more.
Like do your research on that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're being raised, if you're being told, if you're surrounded by, I don't know, telling you, I don't know, the sky's made out of jello.
Yeah.
And you know, and you're like, okay, the sky's made out of jello.
Yeah.
Like, everybody knows this. And then like the other end, they're like, no, 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 it's made out of spaghetti. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, the sky made out of spaghetti. Everybody knows this. Then you bring these people together, they're like, you're wrong. No, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like when it's made out of neither of those.
Yeah,
You know, like it's none of
exactly.
it.
It's
And
all made up
it's all made up.
for a purpose.
All the world's a stage.
It
You know,
is.
it's
What's funny though is that, okay, they already said, they admitted there were files, there Epstein files that happened. Okay. I doubt on Netflix those women lied.
yeah.
Okay. I saw the documentary.
Yeah.
Okay. And all these like records of people visiting the island, all these things they did, and it is true. There's a paper trail somewhere. But for someone to say there was just no, it was all made up, I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
You know, like that to me is like someone saying the sky's made out of jello and
Yeah.
spaghetti. That's my jello and spaghetti.
Yep.
The whole
Mass gaslighting.
never, yeah.
Mass
We're
gaslighting.
all being gaslit.
And I feel like we have been for a long time. But because back in the day, right, going back to back in before social media, before all this, we're all shown the same news, the same movies, this everything. We're all shown the exact same thing. So the people who had control of the media had control of pretty much society. But now that there's so many different outlets and we could get our news and truths from everywhere else and people are speaking their truth and it's spreading and they're being supported, I think the Epstein files might have been that drop of ink in the sea of water or like in
Yeah.
that water where it's like now we're like questioning everything.
Yes.
Questioning everything. All the people in power were questioning it. And these people who are speaking up. And I just want to clarify, like when people were abused, I worked in foster youth for years and out of yes, false accusations are possible, but out of all the kids I work with, about less than 2%, it's like 1 point something when I did my own math, had actual false accusations when it came to sexual assault or rape or something, which means that 98% of the kids I worked with, stuff actually happened to them. And if same with the women who are coming out right now, it takes so much courage to speak out against sexual abuse because at the end of the day, it's going to be the woman that's blamed. What were you wearing? What were you saying?
Oh,
What was this?
yeah.
And to come out publicly, that takes a lot of courage. So I will not to say people do not make false accusations and people have gone to jail for that. I'm not discrediting that. However, when there's so many people saying the same thing and when somebody does come out, use this like
Yeah.
just know that
Yeah.
it was hard for them and knowing that the repercussions that might come, people don't speak out against that kind of stuff usually for just attention
Yeah.
because they're going to, usually it's not the kind of attention they hope for.
There's seriously some people out there, and social media is wild, right? They will listen to someone's video about opening up about their traumatic experience with being, R-worded or molested as a child, and are people who would literally comment on these people's videos and say, like, "Oh, what did you do to make that happen?" Like, or "I don't believe you," or "A guy would never do that." And it's like, or "A girl would never do that," right? Because there are some men that get,
For sure.
yeah, there's, I think recently in Texas, there was a man that got kidnapped and was brought into a hotel room where 10 women like raped him. And I was like, no way, that's a lie. But then I looked it up and like, oh shoot, right? But it's so rare to see like with the video like that, all I saw were like jokes, right? Like, oh my gosh, this is
Yeah.
hilarious. But then I say more so for women when they come out with a video that's like they're being very vulnerable and they open up and they vent about what happened to them. Um there is at least a couple comments where they're like, "Oh, you're lying. Oh, you did something wrong." I don't know if you've seen that video. Um, it's like they used a sound clip of I don't know if it's a minister or I don't know. He was some guy making a speech. He is saying, so ladies, just so you know, like when basically saying like if you're being if you're gonna get R worded or like guys are looking at you, make sure you're wearing the right thing so it wouldn't happen or something, or like, you know what I mean? Like it could have been preventable if you didn't wear a certain type of thing. And then after the end of that sound clip, they have this like music, this compelling music, and it shows this museum of clothing of women, what they
I've
were
heard of that
wearing,
museum.
what they were
Okay.
wearing when they were
Yeah.
raped, and it was like pajamas. It was a
Mhm.
big like winter coat. It was
Yeah.
like a ski outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So really, like for people to be that close-minded and say, "Oh, it's your fault," like for someone to like victim blame,
Yep.
there's something going on right
Yeah.
now where they have the balls to
Yeah.
just do that. Like I really feel like there's got to be some bad juju that's happening with them, like bad energy. This is not cool. Like I really I'm just baffled. I'm just like, well, when I see these comments and they hide behind these usernames and
Mm-hmm.
profiles,
Yep.
and like you don't even know there's no
I
accountability.
feel like they're probably the ones who are doing that stuff.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Fueling
like
this
you're getting a
fire.
little too close for comfort. Like let me deflect a little bit. Let me put your attention somewhere else.
It's really crazy.
It's sad. And we've all known somebody who was sexually assaulted. And as a woman, I think it's like 1 out of 3 who actually reports or speaks out against it. Other people just keep it to themselves.
Mhm.
And we all know somebody. And what were they wearing? It doesn't matter. You know, we know them, we know how they are, their characters, and a lot of times like they were victimized.
Yeah.
And it's horrible. I mean, it's when you think about, okay, if a guy, and a lot of people have heard this example, if he's walking down the street and he's wearing a nice suit, maybe a Rolex, you know, and then he gets mugged. Are people gonna be like, why are we wearing the Rolex?
Right.
Why are we wearing the Rolex?
Right.
Why did you have to wear that expensive suit walking down the street? You should have worn cheap
Exactly.
clothes. Why are you gonna do that? And
Yeah.
what if they're in court and that's all they're focused on is what the guy was wearing? If he wasn't wearing that, he would not have been mugged.
Definitely what a what do you call a prosecutor or no defense would go like if the person that was there that mugged him was there, their defense attorneys would be like that's exactly what they would say. And it's so
Mhm.
crazy because everything's so biased, like earlier I was mentioning, like just because someone's a different they have a different political stance from you, you're gonna have this comment. I'm not saying you, but like in general, like people are like this, like you're gonna have this like comment like where you're blaming that person just because you want to, you're biased and you want to stand by your own beliefs, has nothing to do with what happened to that person, right? It has to do with your own stuff and you're projecting it on this person, and you're now like this person's traumatic experience, you're kind of using that to make them look a certain way when this is not the whole this isn't the issue right now. The issue is this person's hurt, and right now you're trying to pour in your like political BS just so that you can make a point, or you know what I mean, so that you
Yeah.
can make try to make them look bad. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's really like I'm telling you, these people are gonna get like bad karma. This
I
is
think
just
so
crazy.
too. I think so, you know, it has I the truth could only be hidden for so long. It will come out eventually. It's not always the way we want it to come out. Um, and with everything being, you know, before it was like only through history books. That's how we found out about the past. And we already know people rewrote history and removed people from history. So we can't really rely on history books because we don't know what's actually true or not. Now with the age of social media, there's so much recorded angles of a specific subject that it's becoming harder and harder to what's that word, to monitor.
Mm,
um we can't the truth can't be hidden. It's coming out a lot faster, and where your
mhm.
descendants are going to know the truth about grandpa, grandma,
Yeah, yeah.
mom, dad, you know, for generations to come.
Mhm.
And people are being exposed, and I think I think it's a time to really look in the mirror as individuals and society. And yeah, because there are good people and there are bad people, unfortunately, and
Yeah.
there are in between. Sometimes good people make bad decisions, and
Mhm.
sometimes bad people make good decisions. But
Yeah.
that's
No,
accountability. You
I I
you said it,
really
accountability.
I really like that like we're all coming together. We're using social media to kind of piece, the puzzle together and figure out what's this bigger picture that we don't see that they're trying to pull on us. Like
Mhm.
they're trying to pull something. I don't know what it is, but we're gonna find
Yeah.
out. And I like how we're all kind of working together and try to figure it out because we know something weird's going on.
There's something weird.
You're right. There was just the drop that whole Epstein files. That's when we're like, wait a second, wait a second. There are files, but they're saying they're not. No, we know there's files,
Yeah.
right? Like we've come this far already to be like to we built this huge foundation. Like there's files, there's documentary proving that there's witnesses, there's victims, you know, why did that whole thing happen? Epstein, he got killed or he
Mhm.
ended his life. Was that just for funsies? No, there's a reason why all these things happen. It's not just coincidence.
Yep.
And we're not stupid. They think we're dumb.
Yep.
And I love how we are coming together and we're realizing this and we're like, okay, everything is being
Yep.
kind of monitored now.
Yeah.
Because we have social media.
Yep.
We have what do you call it? Those web sleuths,
Hmm.
right? Like they're doing their research, you know?
Yeah.
And you don't even have to be a web sleuth to know this. Like my parents are even like, that's BS. You know, they're watching the news or whatever they're watching.
Yeah.
They're like, this is BS. And everyone talks. And now that we have social media, I love how everything's like kind of out in the open, you know, about that. I have my love hate with social media, but this is one thing I like about social media is that we can all like come together as one. We can unite and we could agree on something for the greater good.
Yes.
You know, I love that.
You know, like with your true crime, one thing I love, you know, we've all heard stories with true crime. Somebody brings out a story, a mystery, and then the internet does its thing. They
Yeah,
find
it
the
does
people,
its
they
thing.
like bring clues together, and
Love
I just
it.
like it's so cool the way it works
It's like a
that.
movie.
Yeah, it's like, and that's one thing I do love about social media too. You know, it has, of course, it's good and it's bad, but like, I people notice the real, right? I think people
Yeah.
are gravitated towards the real. People are
Yeah.
gravitated towards the truth. That's why true crime is such a huge
Yeah,
thing.
it's a
You know,
huge
people
thing
want
now.
truth. People don't want to. They're not satisfied with unanswered questions anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
let's get to the bottom of this.
I love when people are not trying to push just one narrative. They're like, hey, like what could be going on? Like let's really like no BS. Let's like weed through the BS and let's figure out what's really happening in this world, like the files or whatever. Anything. And you know, I think it's really important for people to have at the end of the day talk to someone like you, because this is a heavy load on a lot of us, like people who've gone through trauma, people who are trying to figure out themselves, people who just like they're trying to just relax and they can't stop hustling. That's all of social media, I feel.
Yeah.
Even just burnout, like people who aren't even using social media for work, they're just like they don't even realize they're sucked into the algorithm and
Yeah.
you know, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm burnt out. We need people like you to kind of like regulate us.
Yeah.
So like more or recent or not just recently, have you had like a client talk to you about social media being kind of their core issue?
Yeah. You know, it's more in terms of like escapism. You know, we have like
Oh.
alcoholism, we have drug abuse. I think now it's been you know, there's fight flights, there's fawn as well. So I think that's a fawn. Or,
Fun.
kind of
Oh,
just
explain
like
that one. I don't know that one.
yeah, you kind of so it's like you kind of free. So it could be like if you're in an argument and instead of like fighting or running away, you kind of just sit there and just like you fawn. So you kind of just like
Mm.
you free. It's kind of like a freeze or like a surrender kind of, even though you don't want to surrender. You're kind of just like so overwhelmed and stuff. You just kind of stop. So like that's kind of social media. It's like an escape from reality, right? You're just scrolling and scrolling. You get those dopamine hits,
Yeah.
you know, with the next video, the next whatever it may be. It's more of that, like I want to get stuff done, or I don't know, I want to connect more with people, but I'm on social media a lot, or just like
Yeah.
so easy to pass time away. So it's more like that.
Like a relaxation,
Yeah.
also kind of like not an excuse, but kind of like, okay, that's my band-aid right now. I need to like not think about this person or not think about work right now, or
Yeah.
I'm on break from work right now. So let's see what funny cat videos,
Yeah.
whatever. And
Yeah.
before you know it, you're scrolling for like an hour.
Or
doom
if you
scrolling.
are like fight or flight, or you're gonna get the opposite, where like the algorithm's also gonna bring you, and you're gonna be attracted to, and it's gonna be attracted to you,
Oof.
the constant shock values, right? Like
Yeah.
the true crimes, like the news articles, like these extreme things that cause such a strong reaction inside of you.
Yeah.
It's
You're like
and
feeding off each other.
yeah, and then yes, and then you're like in a constant state of anxiety, you know, like and because of what could happen, because oh my god, somebody might be stalking me, somebody might be doing this, somebody might be doing that, and then so it's gonna validate your already internal fears. Yeah, and it's
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
yeah.
That like the algorithm, you are kind of like teaching it. Like, okay, let's say you're already like anxious and you're like, oh my gosh, like I just wanna and the algorithm, I think they time it. When you like scroll, they see what you scroll past
Yeah, they have to.
and what you like. So if you like scroll past a video that's like kind of like a chill video, and then you're like, no, because I'm already anxious. Like I'm gonna go. I need something fast paced, something like, oh my, like give me a good dopamine hit.
And then those tarot readers are coming out.
All these things, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like whatever, like and Instagram's really. I feel like it's listening to us. That I don't even.
100%.
I'm not even. Or actually, I'm not even saying anything.
Yeah.
And I see something pop. I'm like I was just thinking about that.
Yes, that's happened to me so many times too.
Like,
Yeah.
how good are they?
And I think because okay, we're all a part of a design. We're like human design. We're all part of, like human behavior. Everybody's unique, but nobody's really unique, right? We all have like our patterns. That's why it's so easy. I think it's so easy for me to like see people's patterns and like, and it's fun. Behavioral patterns, where it comes from, where they're going,
Yeah.
and their triggers and everything's and everything like that. So when you have that computer, it's a lot faster. It's so people become so predictable. There's a show on a documentary on Netflix. It's about that. It's about social media and how it's become so precise that because of how predictable human behavior is. I forgot what it's called. A social experiment? No.
Oh yeah. The social it was like a kind of documentary-esque, and
Yeah.
like it showed, I think there was one part where they showed like some guys, like they're the internet,
Yes.
and they're in like an headquarters or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, like hit them with this ad, or
Yes.
that's it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
That's freaky, dude. Oh
I'm
my
gonna put
god.
my leg up.
Yeah, I know. Do it, bro.
But
Do it.
no, and I think we're just so predictable. They could predict like, okay, this person is it's this time of the day. Maybe they came out of work and they're like, maybe they're getting hungry. There's time for dinner. I don't know. So let me
Yeah.
put some food out there.
Yeah.
And then the person probably likes spicy food, and they have a habit of, and it's all connected. Maybe they have a habit of ordering this from Grubhub or whatever. So they're like, okay, let me put up a hot chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Because this person likes this stuff, and you're like, oh, I was just thinking about a hot chicken sandwich. Like,
I know.
yeah.
They know our patterns.
Yeah.
I think because you're right, we kind of teach them.
Yeah.
It's so wild. Social media, wow, you guys really reel us in. And that's where we really gotta be careful.
Oh, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
Because then our mental health is at stake, and other things, we start to think like, oh my gosh, it kind of molds our brain, our minds.
We have
Like,
to be careful not to be controlled.
yes.
Yeah.
It's almost like it knows us, and then it could manipulate us very easily.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like sometimes it actually like it's an instigator.
Yeah.
Like I remember I was dating some guy, and then out of nowhere would you get friend suggestions on Instagram?
Yeah.
Might know this person, right? And then like I don't know why, like I saw a girl, and then she just looked, I was like, oh, she's so gorgeous, right? Like I've never seen her as a suggestion before.
Yeah.
And then it said so and so follows them, and it was the guy that I was dating.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Let me look at this.
Take
And
closer
then
look.
I looked, and then like I'm looking at the photos, not the like it wasn't the recent ones that I saw, but I because I can be very insecure myself. I looked at the past photos, and it was I saw that it was their ex. And I started reading the comments like, oh baby and stuff. And it really, I feel like social media wants this stuff to happen so that you can like, okay, now I gotta like post more to like look like this person, or I gotta like, I gotta do something, be more active on social media, because like now this guy, I don't want him to fall back in love with his ex. Just weird thoughts in my head like that.
Yeah.
Because like one, I'm human, and two, I can be very insecure. But I really feel like social media does instigate.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think absolutely. I think it does instigate, and I think it kind of tests its limits. But at the same time, okay, I just want to go back because you said you could be really insecure.
Yeah.
You said I just want to clarify that a lot of times, so you know how we all know somebody who's had a crazy ex-girlfriend, right? That crazy ex or a crazy girl. I want to clarify that oftentimes it's not the woman that's crazy, right? So you're saying you're very insecure, you're taking the blame, and it's oftentimes so now when okay, for example, I had a woman reach out to me on social media saying, hey, my husband's following you. Can you please let me know if he messaged or liked any of your posts? Like, absolutely, girl, I got you.
Yeah.
So I looked, through the history of us, and I was like, he'd never messaged me. He never liked anything of mine at all. He said he followed me this date. And she was like, thank you. Like, I hate to feel or seem so insecure. I just wanted to make sure because we had trust issues in the past. And it's like, don't even worry about it. If you want, I'll send you whatever screenshots you like.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. And oftentimes I feel like people like to portray like, oh, my girl's just being really insecure, she's jealous, she's possessive, when like it was probably implanted in her that something's up. Like there's some kind of trust stuff, whether your actual partner currently or from the past. But either way, it's like usually we're not just insecure and it was placed there.
Yeah.
So I use discernment. I like to use discernment too when people are like, oh no,
Yeah.
my ex was crazy. Like, okay, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally get it. Like, for example, if you're following a million girls, right? And you're liking, certain photos,
Yeah.
and then your girl's like, oh, like, why are you doing this? And he's like, oh, well, I'll just delete social media then because you're so insecure. And it makes the girl think like she's crazy.
Yeah.
Like there's something wrong with me. Why am I like this?
Yep.
Because now he's getting frustrated with me and saying that like there's something wrong, that
Yeah.
I'm crazy. Am I crazy? It makes you
Yeah.
question yourself.
It does.
And then from then on, let's say you go into like a healthier relationship, right? And it's like PTSD.
Yeah, it
Like
is.
let's say like he does follow a girl, but it's work related,
Mhm.
or he has to. It's like for one reason or another, he follows someone or is a friend with them on social media.
Mhm.
You will have that kind of same brain, right? Because of that traumatic experience. You're like, okay, I need to check this out, and I need to see if like he's liking certain photos,
Mhm.
right? And you're right that I didn't just wake up one day in a healthy relationship wanting to sabotage it.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
But some people are unaware that that, and actually they even now take pride in like I'm freaking crazy, yeah. When they're not. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
There's someone that implanted that.
Yeah.
It's insane, and now people are like taking ownership to it. Like, okay, fine, I'll be that crazy bitch that
Yeah.
And then they're like they live up to it.
Yeah.
Which can really it can be toxic. Someone gaslighting someone because you don't know how sensitive someone can be to that.
Yeah.
Because then they could actually just change their whole personality to that.
Absolutely.
It's really
And it's not to say that there aren't toxic women out there.
Oh,
There are
yeah.
toxic women.
Oh,
We've all been friends with some.
Oh, yeah.
They're toxic.
I know.
For sure. But it's like it's because earlier when you said like, oh, I could be insecure sometimes. Like, or I'm insecure. We take the blame often. Like it's me, it's me, it's me. And I know I've been there too. Like, oh, it's me. And I wish we had more healthy relationships or upbringings and healthier role models and embody that. I'd like to think that once we grow up and get older, we suddenly become healthy. We suddenly like are attracted to healthy relationships or healthy dynamics, or we suddenly heal the parts of us that need to be healed. But it just doesn't work that way. And it's something we really have to take a good look at, and it's work. It's so much work, especially if we came from like unhealthy backgrounds or family dynamics. It's a lot of work to really get into healthy relationships and healthy friendships too. Friendships, work dynamics,
Yeah.
romantic relationships.
Yeah. It's really oof, girl.
Feeling like healthy isn't boring, right? Because when it's sometimes it's like, where's that drama?
Yeah.
Drama.
We need some excitement.
Start an argument. That's because I'm bored. No, but it's like it's like your nervous system, calm your nervous system even within a relationship and within.
That's why, like, sometimes I'm like, oh man, I really need to talk to someone to kind of like analyze this. That's why I talk to in Chat GPT sometimes.
Mhm.
Now we're gonna get into AI. Like that's
Yeah.
one helpful thing with AI.
Yeah.
I go on Chat GPT.
Yeah.
And I'm like, analyze this conversation first.
Yes.
And then because I feel like I'm being told I'm crazy or like I'm gonna be truthful here, okay? Like I'm a whore or whatever, like whatever, some hateful comment, okay? And then it will really like I'll take it to heart. And I'm that type of person. I will really take it. I will take it seriously.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'll have like ChatGPT like analyze it, and they're like, no, you weren't being a whore. They're just trying to treat you like a whore. You know? And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's like
I can be
validating.
validated.
Yeah, it's validating. No, I do that too. Like I'll upload screenshots and I'll be like, just analyze. And I tell it, do not be objective. Look at it objectively and don't just agree with me for the sake of agreeing with me, but analyze these text messages. And it'll be honest, or it'll call me out. I want my
Right?
chat to call me out because how do I know what if I'm toxic? How do I know what I need to improve when it's calling me out?
Do you ever use that when you're like you're in a relationship right
Yes.
now, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever use that like, okay, I had this conversation with my boyfriend, like who's right?
Yeah. Well, no, because I know it always leans towards you being right. So it
Oh, it
does.
does?
It does
Dang
lean
it.
towards you being right. So I'll
It's
say like
biased.
sometimes I'll have to say like analyze it that these two people had an argument. I won't say it's me. I'll say like these two people had an argument. Objectively look at the dynamic, or like,
Yeah.
tell me what can be do to, like,
Word
solve
it right.
They do. You really do because it
Not
will.
like homie,
Yeah.
can you?
Yeah, because they'll be like, you are right and you are so valid and da, 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 your feelings are valid, which they are, but
Like you deserve flowers now.
yeah, you deserve.
He needs to buy you candy.
He should have woken up in the middle of the night to have that conversation that you wanted to have, even though he had to wake up early. Like,
Right? Exactly.
but-
Oh gosh. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Now I gotta word it differently.
yeah.
Oh, remember that. Because it could be biased, just like your algorithm.
Yep.
Because I can guarantee you my algorithm's different from yours.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
oh wow. Okay, watch out for that. This validation, it could be like, not fake validation, but like kind of like just, it's AI. So,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I was about ready to like fall in love with my chat GPT.
Miriam. Okay. Have you ever had your ChatGPT analyze you? Like say like based on everything you know about me, tell me about my character. Tell me about my insecurities, what I need to work on. Tell me what, and it'll break you down
Oh
bit
my
by
God.
bit, and it's like,
So
ouch.
right now, I'm gonna read a recent one.
Okay, tell me.
I'm gonna read a recent one right now. Oh no, I don't keep my chat GPT history. Oh man, but my chat GPT was basically telling me, um, you did the right thing. You let this person know that you have boundaries and you're never gonna like talk to them again, yada yada yada. So I was like, okay, validated, that's good. But then I
Mhm.
was like, why do I feel like shit still?
Yeah.
Right? But no, I did have Chat GPT tell me that I did the right thing. But before that, let's say I think a week ago, I sent in like screenshots,
Hmm.
because I was like, analyze this, right? And then my Chat GPT said, you are being closed off, but it was contradicting. It was really weird. Like you're being like too closed off, but you're being needy. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
I'm so confused. And then like it asked me after that, like, do you want me to break it down even further? So maybe I should have asked them break it down further because they can break it down further.
Yeah.
But no, my chat GPT will sometimes that's why I thought it was being honest with me because it will seem like it's unbiased. But then I feel like maybe, because it's not perfect. It's AI,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
I feel like I am relying on it too much. Now,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's that kind of like form of addiction with that. So I gotta be careful with that. So really, you guys gotta be careful with that.
And the instant gratification, right? You just get it right there. But I do I'm such a huge advocate for therapy. Like I had a therapist for like 3 years or 4 years. I don't know. I love her. I love her to death. I just felt like
Yeah.
I needed to walk on my own 2 feet. Like I have the tools that she provided, and she was amazing. But there's a human component that we miss with the AI doesn't catch. There's facial expressions, there's tone of voice, there's which I guess they can do that now, but there's a human component. There's that compassion that AI doesn't have, and the realness because AI is skewed, and they're gonna want people to pay for it. They're gonna want people to continue using it, so they're gonna do what they got to do to keep you engaged, keep you wanting more. If it's telling you what you don't want to hear, no, you're actually the toxic one in this relationship, you're gonna be like,
Yeah.
screw you,
I know.
But
I know.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh gosh, that's how I was when I saw it. I was like, no. And then sometimes I'll try to be like, well, I didn't tell you this, Chat GPT.
Yeah.
You did this to me. And it's kind of like now you're trying to like manipulate it so that you want
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
So I'm guilty of that. But no, I want okay, but be careful you guys because if you're gonna obviously you're gonna favor yourself, especially if you're in a vulnerable state, you're like emotional. Like I need someone to just tell me I'm right here. But as far as that like, victim blaming, I do feel like a lot of people do that. They gaslight people.
Mhm.
And gosh, it just sucks because, I really do feel like it has a lot to do with social media. It does. I feel like that's kind of the start of a lot of arguments nowadays. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what like the statistics are when you look back 10 years ago, 20 years ago, what was the cause of most arguments within couples or even friend groups compared to now? And what percentage of that is due to social media? But also, is it because stuff is exposed? Where back then people could be like flirting
Right.
here and there with their coworker, right? They'll be flirting with the coworker, they'll be flirting with this person, and it kind of stays contained within that unless somebody went out of their way to call you and be like, "Hey, I seen this and that," or you seen it yourself. But now stuff is a little exposed. You can see when they like this stuff. You can see when they're trying to
Yeah.
flirt. Where before they could flirt with the cashier at the grocery store and you would
And
never
wouldn't even
know.
know.
And now flirting is
There's
evolved
a little
into
more
like,
accountability.
yeah,
Yeah.
fire sign,
Yeah.
comment, um,
Oh gosh.
and maybe just more exposed. And we're just seeing stuff for what it is now too.
It's
Going
like,
back to that truth.
are we ready for this animal? This
Mm.
social media animal? Like you said, things are
Like
happening
the
fast paced.
Matrix.
Yeah. So like this beast, right? Like, are we even ready for it? Like, I think we can't handle it. And we're not meant to, because we're not machines.
Yeah.
We're humans. We're like versus like man versus the machine now.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because we're like, okay, is it a friend or foe? Right? We just gotta know how to find the right balance and use it wisely.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah. You know, I think it comes down to our core values too. Like once we know our core values, I speak of this often. And I have an exercise. Maybe I'll put it on my website to like for like a free download or something. Um, to identify your core values. I like to do like your top 3 to 5 core values, and we can make our decisions or life decisions based on that. And that's how we know that's our moral compass, right? It's like, do we know to keep a friendship in our life, to keep a job in our life, to keep a romantic interest in our life? What are our core values? Do they align with that? Or even in business, I highly recommend that with your business as
Okay.
well. What is the core values in your business? What do you want to portray culturally? And it's usually an extension of yourself. And when you're hiring someone, do they align with this core value or not? When you're having a consulting come in, do they align with like the business's core values or not? And that's like the filter as well. What are my core values? And if you have your businesses, what is the core values of this business? What are the core values in your relationship? Within your romantic relationship, you and your partner should identify your core values. But again,
Yeah.
I feel like people really need to know your top 3 to 5 core values
3 to 5. Okay.
and base your life decisions off of that, whether
Okay.
your personal life or whether your business or your relationship, right? Whatever entity that holds value to you. So if you have a business, that entity, what are the core values for your business, for your romantic relationship? What are your core values for your romantic relationship, your marriage, right? What are your core values as an individual? And make life decisions based on that. If you want to take a job, if you want to have have a contract with someone, is it aligned with your core values? And if not, then let that be an easy decision. Okay, no. If like one of your core values is honesty, transparency, and you want to work and the business wants to work with you, they're like, oh, well, just pretend like this food tastes good, whatever. Like, no, my core value is honesty, transparency. That's neither of those. I will not work with you. And even people in your life, if you have people in your life, lie often or cheat often, and one of your core values is like loyalty, then okay, if they're cheating on their significant other, they're probably not gonna be loyal to me either, as an employee, as a friend. So what are your 3 to 5 core values and base your life decisions off of that? And I was saying I need to put an exercise on my website. I feel it's so important that people know their core values. I think I'm gonna put a free download or something on my website just so people can have easy access
That's
to like
good.
how do you
Yeah.
identify your own core values.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I really need to practice that exercise. I really need to implement into like both personal and business
Yeah.
because sometimes I lose sight of that. Sometimes like, oh, what am I doing this for again? I know for sure. I'm like, okay, all this is for my kids, right? That's one thing. But also I need to also like organized, like in my head, and just have clarity, like what else am I about? So that's a good exercise.
Yeah.
And I really need to do, like, right after this, I'm gonna figure out, okay, what do I really want? What am I about? What are my values? What's a do that's a
Yeah.
must? That I gotta let people know this is like what we're about. So that's really good. I think that's really
Yeah.
healthy. And oh man, girl, like I'm telling you, the past couple weeks I've just been like, it's just been a blur
Yeah.
because I've just been like sucked into this hustle culture you've been talking about. And anyone can fall victim to this, like, especially if you're used to just being on the go all the time. You don't even realize it,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
like you told me earlier, and it's not, I use the wrong word, convincing, but like this realization, you help people realize, like, look, this is what's wrong with you, or this is what you're doing, that this is what you're not recognizing, about yourself. And I feel like I really need that. We all need that. We need someone to kind of like tell it straight, like, this is what's happening. And I can see from like outside the box, like, what you need to work on. This is what you're like, whatever it is, right? And I think that's really important. That's an important thing, and we need to sometimes just stop and, if not you, then talk to someone about it. And your role in this, I feel like it's very important, and you use your platform to help people realize a lot of things and to help them out and to balance things, and just at least even realizing something. And I feel like that's really, I applaud you for that. Really.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So is there anything that you learned in your career that you want to kind of give advice to people, like something that if you had to leave on this note, this is what you're going to tell everyone?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, we need to be more mindful of how we spend our life's time. Remember, if you have a 9 to 5 or even just every work, any job you have, whether your own business or a job, you're exchanging your life's time for money.
Mm,
How do you want to spend your life's time?
yeah,
You will never get this time back.
exactly.
And when you're working, realize it's your life's time. And what is that worth? Is it worth dollar signs? Is it worth more than that? Yeah.
You're so right. No, that's something, wow. That's something to think about, everybody, because sometimes we're like, why are we doing this for self gratification, like instant gratification, Like, we gotta see if it really aligns with our path, like our morals or our values. And that's good that you have the core value exercise, and your end note really like fits perfectly. It's in sync. And I just want to say thank you.
Well,
for
thank you,
being
April.
on
Thank you
the
for your
show.
support and
Oh my
having me
gosh.
on here.
I love you so much, and
Yeah.
you're just the most pure person ever. And I just have the best vibe when I'm with you. Like, I instantly feel better. Like I told you, start of this podcast, I like someone just sent me this crazy, like, okay, come on, I'm gonna start this, and now you're trying to start something with me.
Yeah.
I really, you shifted that. And
Thank
you
you.
just like,
Thank
it's like
you.
energy doesn't lie.
Yeah.
And I love your energy, and I love you, and I know you're gonna do amazing things in life.
Yeah.
So thank you for being on my podcast.
Thank you for having me. And, I love
Thank you. Thank
your
you so much.
support, and
Thank you.
I hope it could be a support for you too.
You
Just,
always, you're, no
Yeah.
matter what, you're there all the time. I'm always like, oh, you came to my grand opening, and
Yeah.
that meant so much to me. Like, I'm telling you, that card you gave me, I want to like have a copy of it,
Oh.
to put it on my wall. I'm not kidding.
I
I'm
meant
serious.
every word.
I was just so,
Yeah.
like happy tears.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, no, that's Sonia for you. She's just, I'm telling you, I've never had like a bitter, like horrible, like, I don't know, like I know friends fight, but I don't even think I've had that with you.
Yeah.
And it's insane. But I love it. I value our friendship, and I'm so thankful that we can be like this, and we have this relationship. And I can't wait to grow more with you,
Yeah.
whatever area. And I know you're gonna do fantastic in everything. Let everyone know where they can find you.
So you can find me path2easyliving.com, or my Instagram is at Sonya Gomez _ and that's SONYAGOMEZ.
All right, guys, there you have it. Follow her, okay?
Yeah.
Bye.